When both the part and the fasteners are rusted together, you need to do a little prep work. Don't just go in there and start trying to tear them out. So I'm using a pick here to break the rust away from the contact surface, which is the flange of this 10mm bolt on a transmission pan and the pan itself. It's going around all 13 of them on here, 14 I think it was. And make sure to use penetrant liberally, especially after that picking. Gives it a little room to go in there. Using PB Blaster here. Sprayed them all. We've got a breaker bar. And that one's loose. And there's another one. So I'm putting a 3/8 on this one. 3/8 is slightly smaller. This particular bolt had rusted so badly that it's reduced in size. And we got it. Okay, so that's promising there. You can't use a 3/8. This one's just too stripped out. On a rounded off bolt like that, a bolt extractor might be a way to go. So let's try it out. There it goes.
I mean, really pick at this thing. Be shy about it.
I couldn't get this off while it was in the car, but putting the caliper in a vise sure helps.
All sides. 360 degrees.
And once we're through with this picking around the edges, we'll again put a little penetrant on it. And then this time I'm going to also use heat.
Let that soak. Yeah, that's a good solid 5 minutes. I'm fairly gently tapping this in both directions.
My main concern is breaking the bleeder off in the caliper. That's why I'm going gently back and forth with it. I've had that happen.
Just keep working it. It is turning. It's turning slightly. But you don't want to overdo it and break it off. Just keep working it like that and you might be alright. Okay, we added some more penetrant. We're just taking our time here. Because it'll go so... Okay, I think we're going to be alright. Okay, that's a salvage kit.
Okay, now we're moving on to just how to remove a highly torqued bolt. And I had to set up an apparatus here, which I've used before successfully, but it wouldn't work on this one. It actually bent it. So we got to pull this out. We're going to have to do the starter bump now. I pulled the spark plugs. We want to make sure this can't start. We've got our bar in there. It's braced up against the lower control arm. I've got it wired in place. You want to keep it at a 90-degree angle. Now what we're going to do, set our camera back and see what happens.
And it worked.
So using a starter to break this bolt is a method I only use when the regular methods do not work.
Good deal.
When replacing this fuel filter, I found the mounting bolt was really rusted and seized on. Easier to just saw this off. It's just a plastic bracket that holds this filter onto the gas tank. It tends to drip, and I'm tired of it dripping. We had no luck with a socket, so I'm going to cut this off with an oscillating tool. And I have a fire extinguisher at the ready, because we are working around the gas tank. Should also say I'm wearing safety glasses. Put up some tarp-like material here, separate us from the gas tank, and have a fan running too. So every now and then, after we've got this partly cut, we're going to see if we can break it off. Because I prefer to... it's not going yet. Prefer to minimize the cutting. Okay, so now I'm struggling still to get this out of here. The screw, what's left of it, with the head of the bolt cut off, is still rusted on so badly onto this clip. Okay, so as if that wasn't enough, I had to go back in here one more time and hack the edge off. This edge right here. There. And Mama, don't let your cars get all rusty and get old. Okay, I saved the best for last. On an F-150, where I was trying to take out the exhaust manifold, the stud, one of 8 in the upper left, became damaged and I could not get it out, no matter what I used. And I used everything I could think of, including heat. So I wound up cutting it off, decided to drill it out, cut it off flush with a Dremel tool, flush with the hole, and I used a compression type center punch, marked it with a Sharpie first. And this has got to be done right, because you mess this up and drill into the head, now you get some real problems.
And it punched it for me.
Enter the drill. Now you'll see a block of wood on there on the left. That's been cut to an angle of 44 degrees, which I measured using another stud on that on the head. And I put a little RV level on there, and then just double stick taped it onto the drill. Just another thing to give me an advantage in getting this hole in there at the right angle, getting this hole drilled at the right angle. And another important consideration is the drill bit. I get a brand new bit, or bits. I prefer American-made product. That's a Montana drill bit.
Okay, shall we begin?
Not worried about doing this quickly, worried about doing it accurately.
Okay, I'm getting into this now.
So once we got in there, maybe 3/8 of an inch, I was able to take the block, take my little wedge off there and my level. Got the angle correct. We've made steady progress into this stud, and we're pretty much there.
Okay, I expanded the hole a little bit this morning using a 15/64 bit. Went up to a quarter. I picked at it. I honed it. I put my tool in, put my extractor in. I got Triumph extractor in here, and lo and behold, it finally let loose. And I had a woo whoop moment.
So that careful prep work paid off. Getting the hole centered, getting it at the right angle with that little jig that I made. And here it comes.
And I drilled through it and I hit dead center pretty much.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.